after investigators say he drove his patrol car drunk.
First spot's over here, where you roll up on him and he has his car on. And he slumped over. We knocked on the window and he just wasn't waking up.
You can touch me. You have a problem? You grabbed me. What? Now get out of here.
Did you know a police officer, Oscar Mayorga, had been suspended after he was pulled over for drunk driving while heading to work?
Did you do anything to celebrate today, man?
No, sir.
No?
The Eustis Police Department reported that its officers observed a police patrol vehicle being driven recklessly on Monday night. Upon pulling over the car, officers discovered an open beer can in the center cup holder. Identified as the driver, Mayorga was reportedly on his way to work and emitted a scent of alcohol. Officers stated that when they requested Mayorga to exit the vehicle and walk to a nearby sidewalk, he struggled to maintain balance, nearly stumbling multiple times. Apopka Police Department confirmed that Mayorga served as an officer in the Uniform Patrol Division.
My season might act up.
Do you need a EMS?
No. Here, let's just lean against my car real quick, all right?
And had been part of the department for 5 years. The department verified that Mayorga was scheduled for duty on Monday night when the incident occurred. Our second spot is Aurora, where Aurora police officer Nathan Meyer was found drunk in the vehicle Aurora Police in 2019. Meyer, dressed in full police uniform and armed, was completely unresponsive, and the first responders shattered a car window to access him.
Okay. All right, bro. You're gonna be good.
Backup or anything, right?
I can't feel anything.
Despite Meyer's blood alcohol level being over 5 times the legal limit for DUI and his acknowledgement of drinking to the point of impairment, he was neither arrested nor charged with DUI. Command officers categorized the incident as a medical situation. Meyer was suspended and demoted after this incident. But the story didn't end there. Nathan Meyer, who was found intoxicated at the wheel of a police car, has stirred controversy over the decision-making of APD command officers. Despite this incident, Meyer was promoted to the position of agent detective. In his upgraded role, Meyer earned a salary of $110,399, a $10,000 increase from his previous position as an officer. According to Acevedo, Meyer shared his drunk incident with police cadets and other staff groups, aiming to prevent similar occurrences. Our third spot is Ohio, where Robert Sweeney pleaded guilty to driving the car in a drunk condition.
Hands on the car. I'm going to treat you.
He was sentenced to 10 days in jail, 1 year on probation, and a 1-year license suspension. Ohio Highway Patrol troopers encountered Robert and he claimed to be heading home. Yet they intercepted him over 30 miles southwest of Medina. 2 individuals had also reported his erratic driving, with one witness observing him exiting his vehicle to urinate outside a store adjacent to the highway. Further, Sweeney informed the trooper that he had finished work approximately 4 hours before being pulled over.
Go from there, but right now, because of the calls, I can't really help you. I'm sorry. Right? So, go and put your...
He opted not to undergo field sobriety tests. In the previous records, Sweeney faced charges of domestic violence in Cleveland back in 2010, ultimately pleaded guilty to a lesser offense of minor misdemeanor disorderly conduct, receiving probation as his sentence. Furthermore, Sweeney was implicated, along with another officer, in a shooting incident involving a man who attempted suicide by cop in October 2012 on West 97th Street. Let's move on to Union City, New Jersey. There is a certain man who looked odd in his car, and when the police officers walked up to the car, they found something unexpected. This is Officer Maricio Garza of the Union City Police Department. Garza, who joined the Union City Police Force in 2019, had previously pleaded guilty to driving under the influence in Union City in 2015. At that time, he was working as a clerk in the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office and was fined $733, with his license being suspended for 3 months. But it turns out he loves drinking and driving way too much to let that stop him. The police officers found him passed out asleep on the side of the road in his car. They tried to get his attention, but he seems to be enjoying his sleep way too much and doesn't respond when they try to talk to him. They knocked on the glass, but he seems to be in his own world enjoying himself. Eventually, he puts the car in park.
Put the gear in park. Put the gear in park. Perfect.
And when the officer tries talking to him, he seems to have no idea where he is and mixes up the places. He keeps saying that he's going straight home no matter what question he is getting asked.
You live in Secaucus? Where in Secaucus do you live? Block away? Can you roll out this window a little bit more? Okay, you understand what's going on right now?
Yes, sir.
What happened?
I went home, is it?
No, you understand what's going on, though? You understand why I'm here talking to you?
Of course, brother.
What happened?
He seems to not understand that he is stopped on the side of the road and not actually driving home as he thought he was. After he admitted to having a couple of drinks, they managed to get him out of the car. They tried doing a field sobriety test, and it's clear that he's having a hard time keeping his balance. So finally he gets arrested because he is clearly way too drunk to be out here. Garza, who was off duty at the time, was unaware that he had dozed off at the wheel. When questioned by Secaucus police officers, he initially believed he was near Hoboken. Body camera footage from the Secaucus police revealed that his blood alcohol content was 0.15, almost double the legal limit. In June 2018, Garza was cited by North Bergen police for reckless driving, failure to report an accident, and leaving the scene of an accident that resulted in property damage. Back in Ohio, we have IMPD Sergeant Peter Fus, who ended up rear-ending a truck while he was driving his blue Jeep on the road. Police records show that Fus' blue 2020 Jeep station wagon was involved in a crash while driving on Raider Road in Greene County. The IMPD sergeant was suspected of failure to control his car, records show, but no people were injured in the incident. An incident report shows that officers suspected Fus was under the influence of alcohol. And they went around and took pictures of the accident for their report. But when the officer asked the other policeman who was on the scene earlier, is when things become clear.
First spot's over here, where you roll up on him and he has his car on. He slumped over. We knocked on the window and he just wasn't waking up.
Okay.
Refusing to get out of the car.
What makes things worse is that Fus couldn't even talk properly when he was stopped by the officers. They could even smell the alcohol coming from his breath.
What's going on? I can smell it come from your breath. I already know what's going on.
After the officer threatens to take him to jail, Fus finally decides to comply, and they get him out of the car. When asked if he would submit to any field sobriety tests, Fus refused. Fus was not booked into jail, instead getting a summons to appear in Fairborn Municipal Court on Monday, November 21, for his involvement in the incident. He was then let go. According to IMPD, Sergeant Fus has been placed on administrative duty pending the completion of all internal and criminal investigations. Finally, we head over to Bradley Beach, New Jersey, where a seemingly normal traffic stop turns into a rather unexpected altercation from an unexpected person. Sergeant William Meyer was on the scene of a traffic accident where the driver was in the process of being charged with a DWI. When suddenly the chief of Bradley Beach Police Department, Leonard Guida, showed up on the scene in regular clothes just to see what was going on. But then something weird started happening. You see, Chief Guida is a little famous for hanging around the town while drunk, and the sergeant already knew this, so he tried to stop him from interfering with the situation. Guida calls him over to the side and asks him to take off his jacket because the label on the back is faded.
Why do you get a jacket on that stuff fit to be worn?
So Meyer just takes it off and throws it into his car and tries to get back to his job. But Guida is having none of it. He still tries to get Major's attention while he pleads with the chief to stop it and let him do his job.
Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket, okay?
The chief felt offended and just walked over to Major, and that's when things went from bad to worse. Major angrily slams Guida onto the hood of a car because he allegedly grabbed Major, who was on duty.
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you f***ing touch me. You have a problem? You grabbed me. What? Now get out of here before you get a problem.
He kept telling the chief to leave unless he will go to jail, who is still not letting this go. Chief Guida still calls over Major and tries to suspend Major, who gets fed up and decides to go home. Guida says he needs to go to the station, but he's not listening to him. But that's not all. The chief talks to another officer, almost trying to intimidate him into seeing the events from his point of view only.
No, I said come over here.
You're out of line. You grabbed me. It's on video.
Billy,
it's on video. I'm not going to argue with it. I have a crash to work.
Billy,
I have a job to do.
You're relieved.
Meanwhile, a petition demanding Guida's termination has been gathering signatures on Move On, saying his continued presence on the job is detrimental to the force and the community's well-being and trust. As taxpayers and residents of Bradley Beach, NJ, we find ourselves in a situation that is both concerning and unacceptable, the page said. And that's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to Verdict Vault and stay tuned for more updates.